I didn't know I would have this opportunity, but here we are. And it's raining, guys. Where I am, the breeze is not hurricane breeze, but it's breeze. No, Ralston, Hyman, and the good brother Colin Bell. Um, both of them, was on Colin Bell's show, and you know all the things that I have suspected in regards to what is happening in Jamaica. So Sean, you couldn't find the button? You couldn't find the button? That don't sound too good. Well, go on, only my press full. What's up? Hi guys, how you doing? You guys are here after 1 minute, after 2 minutes. Yeah, so Colin Bell show the other day. I think it was earlier today. Today is Saturday, right? That they couldn't find the button. This particular show basically Ralston Hyman really confirmed everything that I believe in terms of what is happening with the government and their management. He put certain things into context that I didn't have the full scope and knowledge, so I could not really say, all right, yeah, this is the reason why, or because they did this did not happen, and because they didn't do this, they have no excuse to do that. I wasn't there. I wasn't there, but like up the live, guys. All you have to do, look at the top of the screen up there, you see. If you're on your phone, where my finger is somewhere up there, you will see a thumbs up button. A thumbs up button. All you have to do is click the thumbs up button, and you will see it open up to tell you to like and share and all of those things. All right? Now let's go to this.
Juliet shut him down. I remember I mentioned it to Simon Croskin, and Simon also missed that. And then I hear Simon making.
Hey, only my press full. Are you hearing that good?
Excuse for Juliet
yesterday.
I say it look like Juliet never hear we're doing vast.
Rubbish.
She was not in the mood to hear nothing from
yeah, she does the dep on her own that time.
Before I take up more of your time, you see.
Let me know if it sounds good.
You remember Naaman when Naaman went to Elijah?
Okay, good. Awesome.
And him tell him to figure River Jordan go deep 7 times. He did get vexed. Right? And start quarreling. So look how much. And Fitz said, do you think they would?
You forget Ralston, I'm on telephone.
About this rock parliament. 10-15 minutes and then Latin American growth.
1.6 trillion in loans
to
industries which are more sensitive to downturns in the economy. S&P also highlighted that private sector borrowing remains low at just 51% of gross domestic product, signaling a smaller and less stable market for banking products. The agency says stronger economic growth will be needed to support a more resilient and profitable banking sector. The Jamaica Public Service.
Raleigh, what does that? Simply put, we need to accelerate growth in the economy so that people have more money, people are more viable, and the banks can have a bigger market in order to make loans. What they are saying is that no matter where you say about debt to GDP and them things they really not help right now. What you need to do is to grow the economy. The focus must be on growth. So that people have more money, so when the bank comes check you go to the bank, them say you can service the loan. Right now, because of the low per capita GDP, that is GDP divided by the population, the banks them find it difficult to make loans because them skeptical as to whether the borrowers will be able to pay back the loan because the economy is going so slow. As the man them tell you, Jamaica have the lowest growth rate and the lowest per capita GDP in the entire Latin America and the Caribbean. That is what Dennis Young never told you. That is what Keith Duncan never told you. That is what Richard Byers not
Hi, Kimon.
That is what Wayne Henry not
I will,
you.
darling.
That is what Wayne Robinson are telling you.
What is Jamaica's per capita GDP?
7,000 US. Just barely I thought 7,000 US.
7,000 US.
Only 8 years below with 3,000 and change.
What is Barbados GDP?
Barbados way up in the 18,000 and time. The Barbados and Sierra way up in 18,000. Bahamas and then playing that 20,000. Bam at 10,000 and change. Guyana way up in the 18,000. And Jamaica the lowest in the Caribbean.
We are the lowest in the Caribbean.
Except here.
And GDP means people what the average Jamaican earn per year. Right? So what the $7,000 is saying is that the average Jamaican is earning 7,000 US dollars per year. Can we live on that?
No, that is why we carry so much debt, and that is why, as the man of said, the banking sector kind of exposed, and that is why they can't make enough loans. Yeah, so one, the interest rates are high. So if we have high interest rates and the economy not growing, 1 million in the so say, we get back my money. So we have to protect our deposits, and so we are all on lending and try to put the money on government paper and then so the government make it easier for we to, because one, the interest rate high, the cost of my money high, and the economy not growing. So I'm not sure if they have to pay back. So when we have to make sure they lend the government the money. Because, you know, say, they're going to pay back the debt. Because that is where they're focused on more than anything else. Pay back the debt and pay back faster than the program for. So even Fitch came out yesterday and said the same thing. The man will pay the debt faster than them expect to pay the debt. And by the end of this year, the debt to GDP will be 58% rather than 60%.
You have been saying this a long time, Raleigh. Nobody.
Long time. That's what I'm telling you, them above us.
Let me not say nobody. The government was not listening to you. They don't listen to me. They don't listen to Simon. They don't listen to Obi. Because we are bad news poor. And we had preached doom and gloom.
Yeah.
Now that Standard and Poor say it and Fitton say it, do you think they will now listen?
And the World Bank is also saying it. Well, they have to listen, because if they don't listen to them, man, they might find themselves in a problem, because people them try
Talk truth, no young ET.
Them can never be harder to come by, because when I see that go fast enough. Yes, I'm already telling them,
Hey, Kimon, please stay safe in East Portland. Please, mama. If you're there in East Portland now, just make sure so you're ready. Don't take this thing light. Make sure so you're ready, you hear? Alright, my baby? Yeah, me I pray for East Portland. And me I pray for Portland, period. Cause you see all of them who will be a witchcraft for them things that with them at work. Portland have to get a washout. You hear me I tell you? Yeah man, waters have to run, man. Too much OB and witchcraft, man. No joke.
We upgrade we have a problem with the growth rate, because the other people them were in a phone rating. They might go faster than Uno, so they really not justify this rating.
So we are getting the ratings, but we don't have the work for sure.
Precisely. That the man them make.
You hear the debt to GDP rating? You hear what the man say? The people them say, the professional them. Yeah, we don't have the rating, but we don't not grow the economy. So right now, we have to take on the ratings, because the ratings now match the growth of the economy. And the PNP have been tell them, say, the economy is supposed to grow, them fail for growth. But you know why them fail for growth, Jamaica? Corruption. Them a thief up the money. And that's why them fail for growth. The money is there now, but the money now go where it's supposed to go and go in where it's supposed to go in and allocate where it's supposed to allocate and build up the infrastructure. You feel what I say? Alright.
Clear. Yep. I'm not a bogus early. No one tell the people the truth about that. So the man them come back again yesterday and say,
hey,
yo, people are banking
lend me the
because of the slow rate of growth and the low per capita GDP. Then people can't pay back the money, and that is why the private sector loans down to 51% of GDP because the bank them don't want to lose them depositors money. They don't want to get in that trouble. The interest rates are high. They don't get them to bring down the interest rates. So, yeah, that is a big problem. That's another.
All right, Raleigh.
And that is why, yeah.
I heard you said, I think it was yesterday, that the government collected more in taxes and grants more than they projected for.
Yeah.
How much more did they collect?
From April to August, revenue and grants, that include tax revenues and the money that gets 3 months from foreign, was 5.9 billion above budget. And tax revenues itself, Jamaican people pay 7.6 billion more in taxes than the government expected when they do the money.
So that's 5.9 and 7.6.
Only still I hear it good?
7 and 5.
No, you can't put the two of them together. That's split. One are tax revenues and one is tax revenues plus what they get from foreign. So the revenues and grants were 5.9, almost 6 billion more than they expected. And the tax revenues, the amount of taxes they expected to collect was 7.6 billion more than they expected.
So when I look on me, I say, in fact, them collecting more about $30 billion more than they had budgeted for.
No, you can't split it away then. No, you can't do that.
Can't do so.
Because, no.
But why can't do so? Some in one another?
Yeah, man, because the revenues, the tax revenues and the grants mix up together at the first line. And then when you strip it out now, the tax revenues were more, 10.6 billion more than budgeted.
So, in all, they collected how much more than they were budgeting for? What would be that total figure in that period?
If they use the revenues and grants, it was the 5.9 billion. And if they use the tax revenues and the taxes that the Jamaicans pay, 7.6 billion more.
And how much they were supposed to be paying on the debt?
36 billion and they paid 50.5 billion.
They were supposed to
They were supposed to pay 36.5 billion and they paid 50. Let me play that again. This is one of the big problems. Them paying the debt too fast. I want you guys to pay attention to this, guys, please.
0.6 billion more than the next day.
And how much? So in all, they collected how much more than they were budgeting for? What would be that total figure in that period?
If they use the revenues and grants, it was the 5.9 billion. And if you use the tax revenues and the taxes that the Jamaican people pay, 7.6 billion more than the next day.
And how much they were supposed to be paying on the debt?
36 billion and they paid 50.5 billion.
They were supposed to pay.
They paid almost 20 billion more of the debt than they needed to pay. I want to know in which world does that spell sense? How do you overpay the debt that way, but the economy is not growing? I want you guys to pay attention to this, This is key. This is key.
So the debt due was 36 billion.
Yep.
But they paid 50 much?
50.5. And that
$50.5 billion more. So no, 50.5 billion. So you'd have said they paid about $14 billion more
than projected for, and then cut the capital budget by $4 billion.
14. No, sorry, my bad. I messed up. Wait a minute. 36. 46. Yeah, but no, man, I'm not wrong. If a 36 billion them supposed to pay, and then pay 55 billion, that's almost 55.5. That's almost 20 more billion. That's 19.5 billion more than they needed to pay. Do you know what we could do with 19.5 billion? When it comes to all these drains that need to be cleaned before this storm, Oh my God, bro.
That is why it's scrambled and can't find the money. I want people to understand this clearly. We have debt obligations that we must pay. The debt obligation for the period, which period was that, Raleigh? April to August. April to August, same period. We were supposed to pay the people who foreign and local, right? Yeah, man. $36 billion. Instead of paying $36 billion, which is our debt obligation, we paid 50.5 billion. Who benefit from that, Raleigh? And in doing so, then cut the capital budget that are the budget fixed during the man by 4 billion, and then cut total spending by 14 billion. So the 14 billion, when they used to pay the debt, then cut that out of the spending because then the original program to spend 14 billion more than them spending. Rather than do that, then pay 14 billion more upon the debt than they were supposed to pay and cut out that 14 billion in spending, including a 4 billion cut in the capital budget. That is why they scramble and a scramble and a scramble to find money now. As to who benefit, the same money who benefit the economy and the good, because that do good to them. So,
You see that, ladies and gentlemen? Ralston Hyman just expose what I've been saying, you know. When you really check on the thing, you know, the people that this government is benefiting is the wealthy, not the poor. Because that 14 billion Oh, shoot. So hold on the Yankee bless. Me not even the same message in there. How long now when I so long when I hear no sound? Jaja. My bad, y'all. Oh man. Somebody should have called me.
The following is a comprehensive list of the standard need for the need for JPSCO to protect its assets and possible. The following is a release from the People's National Parking Media Unit. While we understand the need for JPSCO to protect its assets and possible cost consequences, we are demanding full transparency in how JPSCO billing process is done during this period. With this in mind, we are calling on the Office of Utilities Regulations to monitor the JPSCO billing actions closely and on JPSCO to disclose the following. 1. A comprehensive list of all billing cycles, their billing periods, and respective meter reading dates. 2. The average fuel price before the onset of the storm. That will be the basis for billing cycles impacted during and after the storm. 3. The methodology that JPSCO will use in the fuel calculations for bills due. And 4. The projected fuel cost savings arising from the JPSCO shutdown of its generators, the benefit of which should be passed on to consumers, versus the increased cost recurring from the new fuel mix. The JPSCO's unfair action of generating estimated bills for some customers, including those with smart meters, and of applying unusually high fuel charges after the passage of Hurricane Beryl, is still fresh in the minds of many consumers. In July 2024, I called on the JPSCO to rescind its action of estimating bills, rather than procuring actual readings from the company's digitized billing system. We hope for this terrible action not to be repeated, but that Jamaicans will be billed in a manner that is fair to both the JPSCO and its customers. As I did then, I'm again calling on the Office of Utilities Regulation to intervene to prevent any unfair practice by the JPSCO on its customers. I also renew my call for a fully disaggregated bill that would add the transparency needed by electricity customers now more than ever. Visit our website at pnp.org.
I think we gotta play that one more time, because now I never thought about none of the things he's saying. Like, I appreciate the man for his experience in this field, just for really talking about saying what he's saying right now. Trust me.
.jm, or check us out on Facebook at Jamaica PNP. The following is a release from the.
Now, if I play that one more time.
While we understand the need for JPSCO to protect its assets and possible cost consequences,
Yes.
we are demanding full transparency in how JPSCO billing process is done during this period. With this in mind, we are calling on the Office of Utilities Regulations to monitor the JPSCO billing actions closely and on JPSCO to disclose the following. 1. A comprehensive list of all billing cycles, their billing periods, and respective meter reading dates. 2. The average fuel price before the onset of the storm. That will be the basis for billing cycles impacted during and after the storm. 3. The methodology that JPSCO will use in the fuel calculation.
Hi, Dorrit. No, loud and clear, no.
4. The projected fuel.
No, man, Yankee was right. I had it on mute accidentally.
That will be the basis for billing cycles impacted during and after the storm. 3. The methodology that JPSCO will use in the fuel calculations for bills due. And 4. The projected fuel cost savings arising from the JPSCO shutdown of its generators, the benefit of which should be passed on to consumers, versus the increased cost recurring from the new fuel mix. The JPSCO's unfair action of generating estimated bills for some customers, including those with smart meters, and of applying unusually high fuel charges after the passage of Hurricane Beryl, is still fresh in the minds of many consumers. In July 2024, I called on the JPSCO to rescind its action of estimating bills, rather than procuring actual readings from the company's digitized billing system.
We hope for this terrible action not to be repeated, but that Jamaicans will be built in a manner that is fair to both the JPSCO and its customers. As I did then, I am again calling on the Office of Utilities Regulation to intervene to prevent any unfair practice by the JPSCO on its customers. I also renew my call for a fully disaggregated bill that would add the transparency needed by electricity customers now more than ever.
Visit our website at pnp.org.jm or check us out on Facebook at...
So on the year the general, the man I defend the Jamaican people and the light bill price them, you know? Light bill price them. We don't want JPS to go kill we off after this storm. You know what I say? We don't want that. We don't want that, you know?
And it was lines after lines and people can't get money. What?
So, how
then could you say?
How much of you guys have ATM problem? Because the ATM problem them seem to be a consistent problem, you know. And, you know, these long lines. Yo, me tell you say, you see, you have to really have vision and you have to think outside the box, you know. You can't let these people just bamboozle you. You understand what I say? Can't make them just bamboozle you. And it's serious. It's very, very serious. Trust me. Don't want them people to bamboozle you. You understand? Yeah, you have to do the right thing. But, yeah. ATM issue going on. Some of the ATM them don't have no money or them type of stuff there. And then the charge you when you draw money from other ATM. Well, you tell them, hey, the bank them allowed for really mess we up, you know. I really give you a no Vaseline, you know. Terribly, you know, man. Bank them terribly, you know.
We are moving too fast to regulate the banking sector.
So that is what I tell you. I notice why when say after I said that, my say, based on the regulation, they'll make less profit. This focus. Yeah.
Only hear that? You remember when the brother said, I don't remember what him name, the big man, he say, them are regulate the banking system too fast. Because them are gonna make less profit. So them not care about regulation, them not care about the country around the right way and the people, the masses them are benefit, them only care about their own personal gain. And these are the type of people that is aligned with the Jamaica Labour Party government. Them tell you they are for the rich, they are not for the poor.
Yeah, man. So you tell you the system upside down. You focus on the profits of the banking sector, not the service to the people. Because when I say Governor Miles, Deputy Governor Eden Lewis, Deputy Governor Wayne Robbins, them man said they set standards for the ATM machines them, right? And even under normal circumstances, the machines them not work, and then one of the hurricane come. All kind of things, and then they make the man and say, yo, the machine them are up and running, particularly on the rural areas, somewhat more.
I get you, Ralston. I get you.
You hear that?
There's a BNS bank in Port Antonio.
No, man, a different thing matter about.
When they used to have the bank, where you could have
No, man,
and
left.
draw money, they had about 1, 2, 3, 4, at least 6 tellers where you could have go in large money, withdraw money, plus they had some ATM machine. In Port Antonio right now, there is only 2 ATM machines from Scotiabank that you can do lodgement. Only 2. And I will tell you this on public radio and TV this morning, that 70% of the time, none of the 2 no work in terms of taking lodgement. None of them don't work. In terms of withdrawal, they have 2 up there, so 2 there, so 1 down there, so that's 5. NCB of, well, either the NCB bank, I think most of the machines them take lodgement. Ralston, is it that this government is ensuring that the banks, the oligarchies, make money when they are overpaying the debt?
Of course, but you know, see that man, the numbers are there to tell you, even the agencies, them are only we assess as bad before. The agencies, them are tell you, say, the man, them are pay the debt fast. Years, me, I say that the agencies, them don't come out and realize that the man, them are paying down the debt fast and program for and that's type of growth. Yeah? The evidence is overwhelming. We used to say that the discussion has to be bad mind and very, right? So the international agencies, they must say, no, World Bank, S&P, Fitch, yeah, all of the money must say that I tell you, the international cities to the economy. Yeah? Because if it's just point no, yeah?
Somebody's saying that Barbados GDP per capita is $25,000.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Wow. To Jamaica, 7,000.
Yeah, man. Trinidad, I have 19,000 rates. Guyana, I have 18,000 rates. Bahamas, 20,000 rates. So, all those prime ministers and government ministers are paid less than we pay all people in Jamaica.
Say that again.
All of those people who have higher per capita GDP, their leaders are paid less than our leaders in Jamaica.
Which politicians are the highest paid politicians in the Caribbean?
Our people.
Jamaican politicians.
Yeah, man.
And we can't count 80 because 80 is in a civil war. Would you agree?
Yeah, man. And them below us. Yeah, man.
No, but we can't count them because they are having a civil war. Problem, be a problem over 80.
Yeah, man.
So Jamaica is the worst economy in the Caribbean, would you say?
Yeah, man. World Bank said that, man, the slowest rate of growth, the lowest per capita GDP. Yeah, man.
But at the same time, we have the highest net international reserve.
Yeah, man. And the highest paid politicians. Yeah, as government leaders, yeah.
So what does that high net international reserve benefit us, Ralston? What's the benefit?
Well, without that NIR, them couldn't be intervening on the foreign exchange market so often. And what I said, despite the fact that them have the INR and I intervene in the foreign exchange market, it has no effect. The dollar closed at 1.6 to 1.30 yesterday. Because when the man them look down the road, when the people them hear the news about the weak economic growth, yeah, people are saying, yo, you know, the money man tends to do nothing to change this, so they could have played safe and Spain and US dollars. Yeah.
400 million. Go ahead.
Them are import more than them are export continuously. And when we look at the uncertainty of the global economy, we know that the tourism flows that them are dependent on and the remittance flows that them are dependent on. Those things are going to be affected. Remittance flows are 50% of the reserve.
Your guys say Bahamas GDP per capita is 39,000.
Yeah, man.
So, Raleigh, we're looking at a
Can't
pending
go.
storm. The government has allocated $400 million
Hanging out with me, huh?
to serve for all the members of parliament. Is that adequate?
Totally inadequate. That's the point I'm making. And I'm saying to you that shouldn't be, because they collected more of the people's taxes than they budgeted for, and they handed over 14 billion more to the money changers than they needed to. They need to treat the people better and cut the capital budget. How you cut the capital budget in a time when you know say well, you got a hurricane season? You know the hurricane season starting soon. You collected more money than you needed to collect. You know that the country's infrastructure is extremely weak because you have been spending on it for 10 years. Yeah? And then you also column that you cut the capital budget and pay more on the debt than necessary, even though the rating agencies have you should stop to that. Additionally, we also heard that some doctors and nurses never got paid yesterday.
Tufton says a glitch in the system.
Tufton says a glitch in the system. People wanna see that? Everything. Put this in the fridge, yeah? Everything about it. And plug up my charger. Put it in the fridge. So Tufton, everything what them do, they were advised not to do, and it's hurting the people of Jamaica. In how they are managing the finances, how they are managing the capital budget, how fast they are paying the debt. It's counterproductive to actual quality of life of the people, the regular people. And I'm saying, this is my argument. They know what they're doing. I don't think they're incompetent. I think they're wicked. I think they don't care about poor people. I think they only care about their rich friends. You understand? Their private, public and private partnership relationships. That's what they care about. They don't care about poor people. Because these intricacies, when it comes on to the economy, you understand, a lot of people not paying attention to it. They're not even listening to the people that actually know what they're talking about. And then you have to use deductive reasoning, right? Because listen to what Ralston Hyman is saying. It makes a lot of sense. Nobody I know that actually knows is good at finances or the economy overpays on their debt. They never do that. When you overpay on your debt, that money that you're using to pay the debt that you don't have to pay, you can use it to actually invest in something to make more money. So why would you overpay on the debt? It's not productive, it's counterproductive. And then they're underspending on the capital budget, which means the infrastructure, the roads that are already bad. Now the hurricane is going to make them impossible because they never did what they were supposed to do in that regard. And the main focus is the drains. The drains. There's a lot of drains, and there's a lot of drains that are not, they haven't been cleaned forever. And yet they're in a hurricane season and you're not clean the drain them. And you have the government. Then what the hell you want the people them to do? The people them is going to be directly affected. You think you're PMP or Labour right, or just one of them will get affected. All Jamaicans are affected because of the incompetence and the wickedness of the government. Everybody, people life are going in a danger. You talk about possibly 3 days of rain. And we have rain already, we show, we say, yo, this rain where fall is not normal. It's up on our next level. The rain named beer badness. Rain are going to people's house and I turn it in one gutter. The rain a mash up car, the rain a mash up everything. The rain a wash your people in it, the rain a wash your crop them, the rain a wash your car a move. You understand the waters are insane right now coming out of the clouds. And we're talking about 30, how much them said? 20 inches of rain? More than 20 inches of rain? And it's just gonna sit here for 3 days and just fall and then turn into a hurricane, and then we get 160 miles per hour winds, 150, 140 in some parts of the island. Like, bro, all because they did not prepare, all because they have been overpaying on the budget. All of these things that they're doing that they know better and should not be doing, they are doing. So this is why I believe, ladies and gentlemen, from the bottom of my heart, that these guys are doing this on purpose. They are the weapon that form against us. This government is the weapon that form against us. Did you see Andrew Honest today? Velma, how are you doing? Did you see Andrew Honest today at the forum? He was smiling. You know, he didn't have a concern look on his face. He didn't. Not even one iota of concern on his face.
And say it's a glitch in the system.
Yeah, well, too many glitches in tough time system. At time tough time for going on. Too many mistakes, too many glitches in his system. Yeah? The most incompetent minister we have ever seen for a long time, and just full of excuses. Yeah? Too many glitches. How can you have glitches in the system when you know the hurricane will come? You chat up your mouth about the hurricane for days, and then the vital people that we might need, yeah, first responders, you know, ensure them get there. That brother, they're too incompetent, man.
True.
Just full of clear excuses, and everything I'm marketing.
Pure
that's
marketing.
Full of,
That's
marketing.
That's what his PhD is in, marketing.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we don't need a person in the marketing to run the Ministry of Health. Tough time gets on too much thing. All them do are create excuses after time being foolish. That time being covered.
All right, Raleigh, we are concerned and worried about Melissa. I personally am very, very worried because we have been having some rains recently. The ground is already saturated. And when you look at the bulletin, they are saying to us that this system can spend about 3 days in Jamaica. If this system really, and some people are saying it's going to be a direct hit on Jamaica. If this happens, can our infrastructure stand up And
Colin, that's a self-evident question. The answer to that is no. Which will happen to the infrastructure when there's a liquor rainfall? What there's 3 days of rain? No. No, it is going to be very bad for the people, particularly in the rural areas. And it's going to be very bad for the country in terms of the deficits in the capital structure. Yeah, and in terms of economic growth, we're going to see an acceleration in inflation in terms of food prices and all of those things. So we're going to see higher interest rates for longer.
Same way, Velma.
We're talking about slow economic growth will be even for longer.
what is going to happen to the Jamaican economy come next week, Monday morning? If this thing hit us, what are your projections?
Well, what we're going to see is a dramatic slowdown. Well, the slowdown already started based on the talk of what we're going to see is a further dramatic slowdown in the Jamaican economy. And I mean, it's going to be something for this year. It's going to carry over because we're already growing very slow. There's a whole part of infrastructure deficit already. So when that happens, we're going to see an acceleration in inflation, higher interest rates, and slower growth over a protracted period of time.
So this looks
because
like
them already engineered the slow growth with the stupid policies that them are pursuing, paying the debt faster and not investing in infrastructure and the country's capital now. Plus the corruption.
Really, if I tell you I'm not worried, I'm really concerned, you know.
Everybody must be worried, man, because as I said, we see that the carrying capacity of the infrastructure is very weak. Yeah, and we're saying we're getting normal rain over a 3-week period. So the place is well saturated and vulnerable now. And the drain, the man went upon them and tried to clean drain yesterday and today and they can't work.
Someone corrected us.
Yep. Until they can't work, we're going to see the acceleration in food prices or the more increase in food prices and higher inflation. Inflation jumped in September, yeah, from 1.2% to 2.1% year over year. We're going to see higher, particularly inflation food prices. Food prices are the biggest driver of inflation, account for 35.7% of the inflation rate.
JPS say if this storm hit, we are going to see higher electricity bill. Why?
Why? Another bad policy. The thing that supplied them, the ship that supplied them with LNG, which is a low cost fuel. I have to come out and find safe harbor.
Plug up my charger before me left it. Father God, no.
Cut off the supply. A diesel, automotive diesel, which is more expensive because drive the electricity, and that is why it can go. So if you have the natural gas, you have to make sure, as we're telling some, you have to have more onshore storage. You can't depend on offshore storage, or that is that ship on it. It's really a bad planet.
But Raleigh, so
that's another
if we've been getting this cheap fuel, why then are we still paying 40 to 45 cents US per kilowatt hour?
We were up early.
Because them not use up that enough. Them not use up that enough. Them still have the mix with automotive diesel and all of them. So when them do know, is to get more LNG, but they have to set up the storage onshore. They have to find a supplier who can set up the storage onshore rather than offshore. And then have more renewable.
Yeah, what my people, I got any life in the car. I really have my boom box. Plus it is soon finished anyway, but we catch up on this tomorrow here. The word is love. Just know, say, these people probably incompetent, but I don't think that's what it is. I think they're wicked and they're doing the things to affect us in a negative way that they shouldn't, because they should know better. You understand? Alright, big up on yourself. I'm out. Remember to hit the like button before you leave, alright?